What's happening this week in Warcraft? Hey, it's Soul, and you can help support the channel by liking this video, subscribing for more WoW coverage, and catching me where I'm live. You can use the navigation thing below to get to where you want to go because we've got a lot to cover. I'll first blow through the regular stuff happening this week. Warlords of Draenor Time Walking is in play, which is very cool. Comp Stomp is the brawl this week, as if there aren't already enough activities pulling us in every which way direction. It's a Spark Week, which I think puts us at 6 total pieces of crafted gear. Time to take care of that belt if you haven't already. The Manaforge Vandal's Renown peaks at 11 this week, which unlocks another trash nerf, and it makes it so more Warbound gear can drop from the Lieutenant mobs. And over in Mythic Plus World, it's a Fortified Tyrannical week. The websites have been wrong a lot lately, so I'm just going to play it safe and not mention the Xal'atath affix for now. It's a very busy week ahead, with the Legion Remix entering its second week, with a handful of players already reaching new heights, clearing plus 30 and higher keys. Alright, you might be wondering, how do I do that? Or, Soul, how come you didn't tell me earlier how to do that? Now I'll explain, but part of the reason why is because I wanted to direct folks to knock out achievements and get used to the remix routine. So today we're going to focus on player power. What are our paths towards achieving that whole power fantasy? To help with this, I direct you to this website, completionist.com. A link to their site is in the video description. Up here, you can hit the cloud button in the upper left corner. It's the second button down. Plug in your character information and ta-da! Here's a snapshot of your progress in the remix. On the left-hand side, there's a toggle to show you achievements that reward infinite knowledge. Infinite knowledge is a multiplier that increases the amount of infinite power you gain out in the world. The bigger the number, the faster you progress towards pumping the Limit's Unbound trait. That's your ticket to more power and, more important, versatility. This trait is the only source for this stat, and in the remix, it's your ticket to surviving prolonged encounters. So part of gaining power in the remix is to up that infinite knowledge. Gearing is more important early on, but focusing on some infinite knowledge lets you take advantage of the multiplied gains. If you look at the page here, you can see all the sources of infinite knowledge, like completing both the zone campaign and side quest achievements in each and every zone, run the available dungeons and raids in multiple difficulties, and do a lot of world quests. And just gaining lots of infinite power will get you more knowledge. Now, this might all seem familiar, because last week I told you folks in the beginner's guide you should take care of all these zone achievements because you'll be back doing them anyway. So, funny how that works out. It's almost like I had this plan. You won't be able to earn all the possible knowledge yet. Some of these are locked behind phases, but you can get the majority of knowledge points here in this first phase. I strongly recommend you commit to this. So let's review all the important stuff. The first thing that you want to do every day is to do whatever Eternus tells you to do. If you have a quest to go to a raid or a dungeon, or to do some heroic world tier shenanigans, you go out and do it. You do them all until you can't do anymore because you get the best boxes with gear upgrades, and then you commit yourself to completing all these achievements here for infinite knowledge, collecting a bit of everything in the meantime. I'm also going to kill off the exploration side of things and tell you which traits to focus on if you're using the Twisted Crusade tree. Pick up the Touch of the Malice traits, which take up the neck and the 1 trinket slot. If you're solo and tanking, pick up the I Am My Scars traits for the ring and trinket slot. If you're not tanking though, pick up Terror from Below instead. And for that final ring slot, pick up either Volatile Magics for the damage or High Mountain Fortitude for some survivability. When you're done with all of this, or you feel like you need a break from the action, complete normal dungeons. Yeah, normal dungeons. And here's why. Arguably, the fastest way to gear comes through earning boxes. The pretty good boxes come from Eternus, these give upgrades, but the regular boxes come from any point you complete a quest or world quest. Defeating a boss from a raid makes for good loot, but you might not be ready to solo raid bosses just yet, and it'll otherwise take a bit to clear them. Dungeon bosses might not give the best loot, but they do give those tokens that you get from boxes that you can turn into good loot, and dungeons are much faster to clear than raids, at least for now. So choose your favorite dungeon and just basically live there. Run it, reset it, do it again. Maybe it's Maw of Souls, it could be Neltharian's Lair, or Blackrock Hold, I don't know. But it's likely you can work on other zone quests or world quests before you descend into this whole dungeon purgatory. And you want to keep a lookout for these easy world quests with simple tasks like defeating a single enemy. It's an easy box that can later lead to an emissary box, but your focus is to work both the infinite knowledge angle and find your favorite spot for farming boxes. Next week, Phase 2 begins. I'll remind you what happens and find out what new opportunities are available for more boxes and infinite knowledge. There's another big thing happening this week if you're interested. Starting Monday and until Thursday, folks on the PTR can check out player housing. That means anyone with a WoW account can check this out even without pre-orders. So while I don't know exactly what the playtest will entail, I'm going to help you understand the controls for indoor and outdoor decor before you fall down the rabbit hole. When you first log in, you should be able to open the housing dashboard. It's a button on your main menu bar. Here, you should be able to start a tutorial, but you can also look at the decor catalog by clicking on this tab on the right over here. This lets you look at everything you have and don't have, which is, well, everything. As you can see, it's a work in progress, but later on, you'll be able to sort through this list with filters, use keywords to narrow your search, and preview items in the window with a click. There's a fair chance you'll be put through the motions of choosing your house for the first time. You'll learn about the Home Finder. It opens up this UI that will let you look at all the available housing plots in a particular neighborhood. By the way, keep in mind which faction character you're logged onto because that's going to be the faction neighborhood you end up being in. But of course, you can have a house in both types of neighborhoods. Anyway, back to it. In these steps, you'll be transported to the neighborhood. I strongly suggest that even if you don't want to do any actual testing right now, if nothing else, take a nice long tour of the neighborhoods to see what kind of plot you might eventually want. They're labeled on the House Finder, as well as when you mouse over the little signpost or whatever it's called, you just want to note the number. There are tons of variables to consider with your choice of plot, like how far is it to the entrance portal or the square? Do you want your home to be seen by folks passing by? Is there a damn tree in the way of your house being seen by said folks? And of course, how's the vibe? Remember, you can always move to a new place. Okay, so let's skip ahead a bit and let's say you chose your house finally. There's a short tutorial that directs you how to add and remove decor from the home, but I'm going to slow walk you through all of this now. While inside your house or outside on your plot, you'll see up above the big Housing Edit button. You can hotkey this, but for now, just go ahead and click it. You'll see your house chest to the side, showing the available decor you have. This will work similarly to the decor catalog from the housing dashboard. Towards the bottom middle of your screen are your controls, and when you first enter the editor, you'll always start off in Decorate or Basic mode. While in Decorate mode, you can click something in your house chest or something you've already placed and move it along a grid. You can move left to right, and if you collide with an object, it's going to slide up and down. Above Decorate mode are two buttons which are toggles. One is Snap to Grid, the other to enable clipping. You can click or use the hotkeys to toggle between these states and to either ease or restrict when objects clip. My tip, if you're a beginner, leave Snap to Grid on and turn clipping off. This will give you a good balance of freedom and accuracy when placing objects. While in Decorate mode, you can toggle these states at any time, and you don't have to worry if you can't get your object to fit exactly the right way. Decorate mode is a great way to get started, and if you're a beginner, I suggest practicing in this state for a good long while as you get used to what does what, such as how objects link together. For example, on this table, we can add items on top of the table, and the game is going to know to put things on top of the table and not through it. Now, if we select the table, everything on top of it will move with it. The second button on the housing hotbar is Advanced mode, but we're going to skip that for now. Let's look at the Customize mode first. Click this to activate it, and now eligible objects you select will display options for you. And here's an easy way to start. Switch to Customize mode and click on a wall. A sub-menu now opens up, allowing you to change the wall style and the wall material. Give yourself a few moments to see what happens. In the sub-menu, the down arrow over there to the side will change the state of all walls in that room to the style you chose. So while you can have mismatched styles and materials for whatever reason, if you're trying to change a whole room, this is an easy tool to make it happen quick. Similar options happen when you click on the floor or the ceiling. So go ahead and mess around with that for a bit. Customize mode is also how we dye objects. You want to look around for objects you placed or were already there. Worst case, switch to Decorate mode and lay out some random furniture like chairs or tables. Now in Customize mode, click on these objects to open the Dye submenu. Here you can change certain segments of furniture, from the frame to the rivets to the upholstery. Change your decor and it'll stay that way even if you bring it back into your house chest. Now, in this case, you may or may not have dye in your inventory to actually save changes. I'm just showing you the motions. Cleanup mode is very simple. It's just an eraser tool. While in cleanup mode, objects you select will disappear and be moved into the house chest. At any time when you have an object selected, you can also press the R key by default to just move decor back into the chest. And now let's look at Advanced mode. Advanced mode automatically turns off grid movement and clipping, and you're presented with 3 tools. Move is the default tool, there's rotate and scale. So let's look at move first. Select an object and 3 arrows will appear. Mousing over the arrow will make it glow, and you can click, drag, and slide the object back and forth or up and down along the axis. With the rotate tool, a series of controls will appear that let you rotate along the X, the Y, and the Z axis. Select a point and drag along the circle as you rotate. Also, if you hold the shift click, you can rotate in increments of 15 degrees, so it's easy to set up proper angles. Finally, in scale mode, selecting an item lets you change the size of the decor down to 20% or up to 200% of its normal size. You can shift click here as well to change the size in increments of 10%. And there's even more to advanced mode. While an object is selected, you can use assigned hotkeys to resize, rotate, and move objects without having to switch between tools. Not all these keys are set up by default, and it's going to take some getting used to, but it will help you master the fine-tuning of decor placement once you're ready for it. Finally, there's the Edit Floor Plan option. With this tool, you get a top-down view of your interior, and you can set up expansions and even other floors for your home, up to a limit of course. You can see there are glowy hooks to indicate where you can expand. Select one, and the UI on the left side will highlight eligible rooms that can be placed there. Then just select the room, and ta-da, the house gets bigger. Things can get tricky real quick once you start playing with multiple floors. You can use the preset stairwells, but you gotta keep in mind there's only one room direction you can move to once you reach that second floor. On the other hand, you can use the empty stairwell, which lets you expand in whatever direction you like, but you may need to build a way to get there on your own, and there may or may not be decor to help you do that in this current development state. So for now during this playtest, I suggest sticking to a single story floor plan. Feel free to set up rooms and decorate as you wish, and using this tool you can rotate and move entire rooms in case you want to change your layout. All the decor you placed will move with your room, including moving them all back to your house chest if you want to get rid of the room altogether. Moving to outdoor decor, it's not all that much different. You still have the basic and advanced modes, and instead of a floor plan you can enter a mode where you can edit your home. Select the hooks and use the options to add and move fixtures as you like, move and rotate your house as you like too while you're in decorate mode. The customizations of the house are a bit limited, but advanced decor still applies, where you can manipulate objects to create natural-looking expansions to the home and otherwise make the outside look very unique beyond what's normally offered. I know I was quick, but I hope these directions helped, and I do have one more tip for you: to leave lots of feedback. Complain about every little thing, like, hey dude, these axes here need to be different because it's very confusing, or hey, how come there's no undo button, or what's happened to importing and exporting options. Make lots of noise. What we talk about the loudest is going to help inform what the devs will work on next. That's going to be it for this reminder video plus double guide, and I hope something in here helped. This week I hope to give you all a good early impression on the various professions and what's ahead for Midnight, so stay tuned. Please like this video, subscribe for more WoW coverage, catch me live, and I'll catch you later. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay breezy.